Hi, I'm Sarah and welcome to CoreMoodz. Today I'll be talking to you about the Goodreads Popularity Awards. I don't know what to call it, but it's like the Goodreads nominations for Best Book in different categories. This comes out every year and there are like different categories and 20 books per category, but a lot of the times I feel myself thinking there are a lot of books that I don't know, or there are a lot of books that I know and I know that I don't like. There are a lot of popular authors. It's not, to me, this list is not representative of the best books in each genre. It's just the amount of books that people are shelving or reading or voting for. I'm gonna look at this list and be like, shop the list and see if there's something interesting or something that I can like or want to try and want to add to my TBR. I'm not gonna go through every genre or every category because I don't read in all the different categories. So the first category I want to talk about is fiction. There are a lot of books in this category that I don't know and that I'm not interested in. Two books that I'm interested in is Cursed Daughter. I've read from this author, I think my sister is a serial killer. And I really like that book, so I'm definitely going to try Cursed Daughter. And the only other book that intrigues me is Wild Dark Shore. This author has another book that has also been going around, but Wild Dark Shore, I think, is a book that I want to tackle. In the mystery and thriller genre, I thought I would have read a lot of the books in this genre, and it's not true. I don't know half of the books in the genre, and in the category, I mean. And I think the only books that I want to definitely read are King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. I've never read from S.A. Cosby, and mostly because I don't really like police points of views, detective point of views. So Razorblade Tears maybe is a book that I can pick up, and King of Ashes is a book that I'm intrigued by. So definitely going to try to read at least one of those two books. Lisa Jewell, also an author I've never read from. Don't Let Him In is a book that a lot of people talk about and is on this list. I'm going to try to read from Lisa Jewell. I don't know if it's going to be this book. She has a lot of books, so I have a lot of different choices. The Ghostwriter is a book that I've heard a lot about. I don't know if I'm going to tackle it, but it's definitely a book on my radar. Yeah, the Richard Osman. I've read the first book this year. I'm definitely going to continue the series, but it's not a priority. And Gillian McAllister. I know this author from her book Wrong Turn or something. The one where the mom sees her son committing a crime and then she goes back in time trying to fix it. I think that was the plot or synopsis of the story. So I think I'm going to tackle that first one and then see if it's for me, and then see if the new book, the Famous Last Words, the one on this list, is a book that I want to tackle. The next category, romance. The only book I'm interested in this list is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. So that's the only book that I want to read. When I look at romantasy, there are only two books that I want to read. Vicious Oaths. Yeah, I heard it's very spicy, very interesting. And The Night and the Moth. I've read from the author, Rachel Gillick, I think. I read One Dark Window, that duology, and I really liked it. It wasn't like amazing, but it was very palatable, fun. It was an okay time. So I think I'm going to try to read The Night and the Moth and see if it's like a better story. I'm very curious. When it comes to fantasy, there are definitely a couple of books that I'm adding to my TBR or that are already on my TBR. The Raven Scholar, a lot of people around me are reading it at the moment. I'm really loving it and enjoying it. So The Raven Scholar is a book that I definitely want to read. Catabasis, definitely a book I want to read. The Will of the Many, and the second book, The Strength of the Few, also is a book series that have been doing really good, and people have been very positive about it and liking it. So I want to at least try the first book and see if I like it. When it comes to sci-fi, I want to read The Dream Hotel by Leila Lailami. This author has been an author that I really want to read from, and I have never read from them. So I was like, let me just read this book. And I've been anticipating this book this entire year. The Compound is on my winter TBR, so this book I really like. I mean, I like the synopsis. And I'm just going to try to prioritize it and maybe read it in December. The Merge is also a book I'm just very interested in. It's about, I think, two different people, two different women that know each other, that have, I don't know if it's an animosity, but definitely an interesting dynamic. And then one of them is asked to let the other one into her conscience and just merge their consciousness so that both of them live in the same body or something like that. Yeah, there is a book, Immaculate Conception. It's a book that has similar themes or similar vibe. So I just think I might do a vlog where I tackle both of these books together and see what I think. And Luminous is a book by I think Korean author, and I'm just very interested by this book. I like the cover. I've read the synopsis, and I just think, let me just read you the synopsis. So, Luminous by Sylvia Park. The book description says, this sweeping debut novel set in a unified Korea tells the story of three estranged siblings, two human, one robot, as they collide against the backdrop of a murder investigation to settle old scores and make sense of their shattered childhood. This just seemed very interesting to me, and yeah, definitely adding it into my TBR. In the horror category, we have What Hunger. This book I tried to read, but I just happened to read a lot of cannibalism stories or grief stories, and then I need to just not read them for a while and then read them when I feel like it. But I'll definitely try to get to What Hunger, because I'm very interested in the story. You Weren't Meant to Be Human by Andrew Joseph White is like a book I've been anticipating since the moment they started marketing and promoting it, because it's Andrew Joseph White writing an adult horror, and I knew it's going to be disgusting, horrific, but very insightful and very interesting. So I'm definitely reading this book as soon as I can. If I look at the other categories, there are only two books that I'm interested in. Scammer by Tiffany D. Jackson. Tiffany D. Jackson is an author that I've read a lot from, and she has always, it's just a punch to the gut. Whatever she writes about is always very interesting, very, on one side, very complex, on the other side, very human and very painful. And I don't know what kind of vibe Scammer is going to be, but I'm just very interested, and I think I'm definitely going to add it to my TBR. Other than that, I think I'm just going to try to read Dominion. Seems interesting, but I don't know. Did you look at the list, at the Goodreads awards? Did you vote? What books did you add to your TBR? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and bye.